What's going on? This is Magic Mitch, and in this video, we're going back in time and talking about the very first time I met the big man himself, Randy Santel, both online and in person. And since this video actually takes place during the first weekend we met in person, I thought what better time to talk about it than in this video. And if you're wondering why this particular video is just being posted right now, don't worry, I'll be answering that too. But I'm in Franklin, Wisconsin, which is in the Milwaukee area, at a place called Mulligans Irish Pub and Grill, and it's here that I'm facing off against their Paddy's Lament Burger Challenge. And this is quite the fierce food monstrosity that they have constructed here, because this burger has a 3-pound burger patty to it, but not only that, it also has a full pound of corned beef. Then of course you've got a bunch of toppings in there like cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and onions. Then along with that monster burger challenge, you have a pound of their beer battered fries. And if you're able to take down this beast within the 1 hour time limit, you get the meal for free, which is $35, and you also get a free shirt and your picture up on their wall of fame and a $50 gift card to use at the restaurant. So as you continue watching this battle unfold, we're going to talk about the question I get asked so often, and that is, how did you meet Randy? So, how was it that this food adventurer first met Mr. Randy Santel? Well, it all starts out when I was preparing for my very first food challenge, and in order to get ready for it, I was looking online for any tips or tricks or any hacks in order to get my body ready for a food challenge. And after many hours, even days, of just looking through the depths of the internet for any information on how to best prepare myself for this upcoming battle, I only came across one single website that not only had numerous articles on the subject, but also those articles went into greater detail than anything else I had found. Only one website that seemed legit. Enter randysantel.com. So after checking out his articles and watching some of his videos, it was fairly obvious that this man, despite his over-the-top flexing, backwards hat turning, and odd sign of the cross before he would start his food challenges, he had an impeccable track record that made him seem pretty credible. So I used his tips to train for my first food challenge, which, to my surprise, his tips were actually more helpful than I thought they'd be, and I was able to successfully complete my very first food challenge. So this led me to start following him online, and then one day, I see a post from this supreme food fighting being talking about how he was looking for help, someone who could help him edit videos for him. And as I read this post, I thought to myself, this sounds like a great opportunity, because it was only about a year since I had graduated from college with a degree in media arts and game development with an emphasis on communication. And by the way, there's no real need to get too excited about that. It's basically a dressed up version of a multimedia degree, and I really didn't learn that much in college, but we'll save that story for another day. Anyways, I thought that this would be a great resume builder, showing off that I had real world experience in an area I wanted to have a career in. So on March 13th, 2013, at 12:16 a.m., I sent the email that would change the course of both our lives forever. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a little ass kissing in the email, but hey, I was looking to make a good first impression, and you know what? It must have worked, because he got back to me. And from there, we had a couple conversations online going back and forth, and eventually, I started editing a couple videos for him, which he did like the work I was doing, so I started editing more on a regular basis. Fast forward a few months, and Randy messages me about a trip he's planning overseas, and he wants me to come along and film. But at this point, we had never met in person. So he thought it would be a good idea that if we're going to be traveling together, we should probably meet up beforehand. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty smart thing to do. So we get to talking, and I don't remember the exact conversation, but it went something down the lines of him being like, "Bro, you want to come overseas to film me battle a bunch of food challenges?" And I'm basically like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome, dude." And he's like, "Cool, man. Let's meet up in Milwaukee for some challenges so we can check each other's vibes, make sure we have some awesome energy." And then I was like, "Right on. Totally stoked to meet you." Yeah, it was something like that. And when that time finally came, oh my gosh, this is actually pretty embarrassing, but when I went to go pick up Randy in Milwaukee, I actually ended up getting lost trying to find my way back to my friend's place in the area, which is where we'd be staying. Now hold on, to be fair, this was ages ago, and at the time, I didn't have a phone with internet connections. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what the situation was. So there wasn't any Google Maps or anything like that for me to use. Actually, I think at the time I was actually trying to use one of those Garmin GPS systems that my friend borrowed me, but it wasn't working, which of course it's not. Perfect timing for the guy who's already got a terrible sense of direction. So needless to say, I did not make the most ideal in-person first impression, but we did end up getting to my friend's place eventually, and we continued on from there. Then over this extended weekend, Randy and I did a few challenges, one of which is this burger challenge you're watching right now. And speaking of embarrassing, well, not really so much embarrassing, but there's certainly a high cringe factor to this, is the intro I, quote, attempted before starting my burger challenge.
Alright guys, what's going on? Magic Mitch here, ready to take on Paddy's Lament in Mulligans. I think about 2 people finished this, if I'm not mistaken, right? 2 people. I'll get the details later, but I know it's just a whole hell of a lot of burgers, so I've been waiting all day for this, so let's just get it down.
Let's go, Mitch.
Oh man, that is so hard to watch. Now for a bit more context on this challenge, I'm attempting this challenge right after Randy, and he actually had failed, though considering the fact that part of his burger was raw, that's not too surprising. And he still gave it a tremendous effort, but he came up short. So I had my own doubts about this challenge, but I thought maybe if I got mine cooked a little longer, I wouldn't run into the same issue, because I don't think I could ever picture myself just plowing through a bunch of raw burger like he did. But here's a bit of irony. Since I had them cook this burger patty just a little bit longer, the outer layer of this burger, it was a bit on the drier side, which made it much harder to chew through. But though I will say that the inside, it wasn't too shabby. And again, I'd much rather have this be the case than try to work my way through something that's undercooked. But regardless of that, I do believe that the restaurant had the best intentions, and I think this is still a great challenge. It has the gold standard, which is the free meal, the free shirt, and your picture up on their wall of fame. Plus you can get a gift card, which is certainly a sweet deal. Though it is a lot of food, but thankfully you do have plenty of time to work with. And yeah, my burger patty was a bit dry, but I didn't think the rest of it was too shabby. Not at all. The corned beef hash, the veggies, and the other toppings, I thought they were all good. And of course, fries are fries. And now to answer that question of why is this just being posted right now? And while I'm not going to name any names, but there was a certain individual who gave me advice, who, at the time, I would take any of their advice and not think twice about it. Again, I'm going to leave this person's name completely out of it and keep it completely anonymous. They told me that if I ever posted too many lost videos too close together, that no one is ever going to follow me and watch my videos. So I needed to spread out those lost videos in between a bunch of wins. And here's the thing, there very well could be some truth into that. But you know what? I couldn't give a crap. Because you know why? Because no journey is linear. There are numerous highs and lows as any story unfolds. Matter of fact, I think it's actually better that way. Makes things more interesting. So this sort of spacing out your losses, or not even posting your lost videos altogether, just to make yourself look better, it might be suited for others, but it's not for me. And I'll be the first to say, sure, I might be able to eat more than the average person, but my focus is not becoming this all-powerful eater that's better than the rest, or even try to be part of that conversation. I just want to focus on doing one of the few things I really enjoy, and that is making fun and entertaining videos while I embark on my food adventures. Of course, all while being the huge dork and absolute turd that I am. And also, I'm choosing to say this now because, spoiler alert, winter is coming, and things are going to get dark and bleak very soon. And hopefully these next few videos will better prepare you for what's to come, especially during the next food challenge tour. So this was certainly not the ideal outcome, but if you enjoyed this video regardless, there's plenty more for you to watch. So click or tap on another video on the screen or in the description down below, and I'll see you there.